quiet tonight. One glass of whiskey, one old guitar, and a man who's lived long enough to finally understand the most beautiful things in life were never the things I spent my younger years chasing. When I was young, I wanted everything: a big house and a brand new car. I thought happiness was waiting somewhere beyond the stars. I worked until the morning, I ran until I couldn't breathe, never knowing all I really needed was the little life in front of me. That mellow saxophone whispers low, like an old friend saying, take it slow. The upright bass walks through the night, and suddenly everything feels right. The most beautiful thing about growing old is finally knowing what is worth holding close. A quiet morning, a warm cup of coffee, a familiar voice saying, good morning. Oh, so I don't need the world anymore, just a little peace when I walk through my door. The most beautiful thing about growing old is learning that simple things can be worth more than gold. It's watching sunlight through the window while the kettle starts to sing. It's hearing children laughing and knowing what tomorrow brings. It's calling someone you love just to hear them say hello. It's having enough strength to take another walk real slow. That old guitar begins to cry, but there's no sorrow in the sound tonight. Every note feels warm and true, like the years finally taught me what to do. The most beautiful thing about growing old is having fewer things to prove or show. No more running, no more racing, no more pretending that I know it all. I've lost some people along the way, I made some mistakes I wish I could change. But the most beautiful thing about growing old is learning to forgive and letting yesterday go. the years I've lived. Every line around my eyes is a story I survived. The gray hair doesn't scare me, the slower steps don't either. I've learned that life gets sweeter when you stop asking it to hurry. When you're young, you count the years. When you're old, you count the mornings. You stop asking, how much do I have left? And start saying, thank God, I got another day. Another sunrise, another cup of coffee, another chance to say, I love you. The most beautiful thing about growing old is waking up and knowing I'm still here. Another sunrise, another quiet evening, another day to hold the ones I love near. Oh, I don't need diamonds, I don't need fame, I just need peace when I hear my name. The most beautiful thing about growing old is realizing the life I once overlooked was the life I was looking for. What I was looking for. The city is quiet tonight. One glass of whiskey, one old guitar, and a man who's lived long enough to finally understand the most beautiful things in life were never the things I spent my younger years chasing. When I was young, I wanted everything. The city is quiet. One old guitar, one glass of whiskey, and 70 years written all over my face. I used to sing the blues because life hurt tonight. I sing the blues because life was beautiful. Candles came and went like summer rain through an open door. I chased some dreams, I lost some friends, and learned what dreams were really for. I had a young man's heart once, and fire running through my veins. Now I walk a little slower, but I understand the rain. That mellow saxophone cries so low, like an old friend I used to know. The upright bass walks through the night, and every note feels warm tonight. This is the blues I sing at 70, a little warm but still alive. Scars beneath my memories, and 70 tears behind my eyes. Oh, I don't need another lifetime. I just need one more song to play. This is the blues I sing at 70, and I'm grateful I made it this far today. I loved a woman with my whole heart, held her close beneath the rain. I watched her smile across the kitchen, and I watched her leave again. I've buried people I thought would always walk beside me. Now I carry them in every song, and they still ride here inside me. That old guitar begins to cry beneath the tired midnight sky. Every bend becomes a memory. Every chord comes back to me. This is the blues I sing at 70, for every love and every goodbye, for every dream that slipped away, and every friend beneath the sky. I still believe life was worth the song. They've got their own roads to walk. Sometimes they call me just to ask about the things I used to talk. I tell them, don't work your whole life away. Don't save your happiness for later. Sit down, watch the sunset, and tell the people you love while you still have the chance. At 70, you stop counting money, you start counting mornings, you stop chasing applause, you start listening to silence, you stop asking, how much more can I get? And start saying, thank God for what I already have. This is the blues I sing at 70. A little slower, a little wiser. I've got silver in my hair, but there's still fire in my eyes. Oh, I don't need the world to remember me. I don't need a statue in the street. Just one warm room, one old guitar, and a little peace when I lay my head to sleep. This is the blues I sing at 70. And if tomorrow is my last, I'll thank the Lord for every mile, every tear, every laugh, every song that brought me here at last. city is quiet. One old guitar, one glass of whiskey, and 70 years written all over my face. I used to sing the blues because life hurt tonight. I sing the blues because life was beautiful. 70 candles came and went like summer rain through an open door. Neon light is fading, the whiskey's getting warm. I look into the mirror tonight and count the lines across my face. Funny, when I was young, I wanted to hide every one of them. Now I wouldn't trade a single line, because every wrinkle has a story. There's a line beside my left eye from the years I spent laughing, another by my mouth from the nights I kept on asking. There's one across my forehead from the worries I carried home, and silver in my hair from all the years I've walked alone. That mellow saxophone cries so low, like an old friend I used to know. The upright bass walks through the night, and every note feels just right. Every wrinkle tells a story, every line remembers me, every scar upon this old face is a road I had to walk to be free. Oh, I don't want a younger face, I don't want to erase a single day. Every wrinkle tells a story of the man I was and the man I became. This one came from losing someone I thought would never leave. This one came from working nights when my family needed me. This one came from my children calling me dad for the first time. And this one came from the morning I realized they had grown and left the line. That old guitar begins to cry beneath these tired city lights. Every band becomes a memory, every note brings back a piece of me. Every wrinkle tells a story, every line has something to say. Some were written by the people I loved, some were written by yesterday. Fear the mirror, now I let it tell the truth. Every wrinkle tells a story of the years that made me who I am. chasing dreams and lines from facing fears. Some nights I lost my way, some mornings I found it again. Every road left something behind, every loss became a friend. So don't feel sorry for these lines, they've earned their place on me. They tell you I love deeply, they tell you I survived, they tell you I stayed. When walking away would have been easier, they tell you I lived. Every wrinkle tells a story, every line remembers where I've been. Every scar is proof that somehow I got back up again. Oh, let the years rot on my face, let every season leave its trace. Every wrinkle tells a story, and I wouldn't erase a single page. Ooh, a single page. Turn away from the mirror, the room is quiet, but I smile. Tomorrow I'll wake up with one more line, one more story, one more memory. Maybe that's what growing old really means, not losing your youth, but carrying every version of yourself inside the face you have today. So let them come, these wrinkles, these scars, these little marks of time. Because when the day comes and somebody asks, what kind of life did you live? I won't need to say the bar is almost empty, your side of the bed is still cold. Funny how the world keeps moving, even when your whole life feels still. I used to think losing you would be the end of me, but tonight I'm learning how to live after you. I woke up reaching for your pillow like I did 1,000 times before. Then I remembered you were gone now, and I don't live there anymore. I made my coffee for one person, watch the morning fill the room. The silence used to break my heart, now I let it have its room. That lonely saxophone cries so low, slow. Every note reminds me of the past, but I'm learning not to hold it fast. I'm learning how to live after you, learning how to breathe again, learning how to walk these empty streets without asking where you've been. This old guitar knows my pain, but I don't need to curse the rain. You were a chapter, you were a song, and I'm finally learning how to carry on. I stopped driving past your neighborhood, stop checking if your lights were on, stop looking for your shadow. Every time the evening comes, I found an old coat in the closet, still carrying your perfume. I held it for a little while, then finally gave it back to the room. The upright bass walks deep and slow, like roads only old hearts know. Brush drums whisper through the night, teaching me to be alright. I'm learning how to live after you, learning how to sleep alone, learning that an empty house can still become a home. Oh, that screaming guitar bends and cries, but there's less darkness in my eyes. You took a piece of yesterday, but you didn't take my life away. Oh. Where you used to say my name. Some mornings I still wonder if you ever feel the same. But I don't need the answer, I don't need to know where you've been, because peace doesn't come from knowing, it comes from letting go within. I thought moving on meant forgetting, but now I know it means remembering without falling apart. It means wishing you happiness without wishing you back. And it means waking up one morning and realizing you are no longer the first thing on my mind. Doesn't taste as bitter, and the mornings don't feel like fights. Oh, this old guitar still knows your name, but it doesn't sound the same. The pain is fading, the blues remain, and somehow I can dance inside the rain. I can dance inside the rain. The bartender turns down the lights. I put my coat on and step into the cold. The city looks different tonight. Maybe it didn't change, maybe I did. I walk home alone, but I I don't feel lonely, because somewhere along the way I learned something love never taught me: how to lose someone without a live after you. I woke up reaching for your pillow, like I did 1,000 times before. Then I remembered you were gone now, and I don't live there anymore. I made my coffee for one person, watched the morning fill the room. The rain is falling slow. One old guitar is crying, and I'm sitting here looking at the years. Funny thing about time, it never asks if you're ready. It just keeps moving. I was young when I first heard that old clock on the wall. I thought I had forever, I thought I'd never fall. I chased the money, I chased the dreams, I chased tomorrow every night. Never stopped to notice how fast today passed by. That mellow saxophone cries so low, like an old train moving slow. The upright bass walks through the room, while yesterday fades into the gloom. Time never turns back, no matter how hard you call. It takes the young man and leaves the old man standing by the wall. Oh, you can hold a photograph, you can remember every name, but you can't turn the hands of time and make yesterday come back again. I remember my father's voice calling me home at night. I remember my mother's kitchen and that porch light burning bright. I didn't know those days were precious, I thought they'd always stay. Now I would give anything just to hear those voices one more day. That old guitar begins to cry beneath the tired midnight sky. Every bend becomes a memory of everything that used to be. Time never turns back, it only carries on. It takes the people that we love and teaches us they're gone. I watch my children grow, I've disappear. And every year that passes makes the things I love feel more dear. I used to think I had to hurry to become somebody great. Now I wish I'd slowed my footsteps and stayed a little longer at the gate. Stayed for one more conversation, held one more hand, said I love you a little louder, while they could still understand. Because time don't care about your money, don't care about your name. It doesn't stop for broken hearts, and it doesn't stop for fame. So if somebody matters, tell them while they're here. Don't wait for another morning. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Time never turns back, so I'm done chasing yesterday. I'll hold the ones I love tonight, while they're still here to stay. Let the old days be old days. Let the memories have their place. I'll walk slower, love deeper, and finally live at my own pace. Time never turns back, but maybe that's alright, because every ending makes this moment more alive. Falling slow, one old guitar is crying, and I'm sitting here. The bar is almost empty. I look down beneath the table, and there they are. An old pair of shoes, worn down by a lifetime. Funny, I never thought a pair of shoes could remember more than a man. These old shoes have walked some miles, down streets I can't recall. They've seen the rain on Monday mornings, and the nights I lost it all. They carried me to my first job, when I was barely 21. They walked me home through winter rain when I thought my life was done. That mellow saxophone cries so low, like an old road moving slow. The bass keeps walking through the night, like these old shoes beneath the lights. These old shoes carried my life through every road and every fight. They walked through love, they walked through pain, through summer sun and midnight rain. Oh, the leather's cracked, the soles are thin, but every scar remembers where I've been. These old shoes don't look like much, but they carry a lifetime on their backs. They walked me to the woman I thought I'd love forever. They stood beside her doorway in the cold December weather. They walked away the morning she said she couldn't stay, and carried all my broken dreams down that long and empty way. That old guitar begins to cry underneath the neon sky. Every bend and every note sounds like another road I walked. These old shoes carried my life when I had nothing but a fight. They've stood beside me when friends were gone. They kept moving when my strength was gone. Oh, they know every corner of this town, every place where I fell down. These old shoes never asked me where I was going. They just kept walking when I didn't know. Beside my children on their first day of school, I watched them grow before my eyes while I was busy chasing rules. They walked through hospital hallways, they waited outside closed doors. They've carried me through funerals and brought me home when I was warm. Now the leather's getting weaker and my steps are getting slow, but every mark upon these shoes is somewhere that I know. I used to think a man's worth was measured by the things he'd own. Now I know it's measured by the roads he walked when nobody was watching. These old shoes carried my life through every wrong, through every right. They walked through years get replaced, and carried memories no money could erase. Oh, someday these shoes will rest beside an old man's chair, but every road they ever walked will still be living there. These old shoes, worn down and blue, if they could talk, they'd tell you everything I went through. The bar is almost empty. The bar is almost empty. I look down beneath the table, and there they are, an old pair of shoes, worn down by a lifetime. Funny, I never thought a pair of shoes could remember more than a man. These old shoes that walk some miles down streets I can't. The clock is moving, but somehow the night isn't. Rain keeps tapping on the window. The whiskey's getting warm, and there's too much silence since you walked away. The nights got longer when you left me. Morning takes forever to arrive. I used to hate the sound of midnight. Now I hate the morning light. Your side of the bed is empty. Your picture's fading on the wall. Funny how a little empty space can make a whole house feel so small. That lonely saxophone cries so low, like an old train moving slow. Every note drifts through the room and makes me miss you more than I should. The nights got longer when you left. The hours don't know how to end. I pour another glass of whiskey and pretend you're coming home again. The city sleeps beneath the rain, but I still whisper your name since you walked away. The nights got longer, and my heart forgot how to sleep. I used to drive until the sunrise, with your hand resting in mine. Now every road looks unfamiliar when I'm driving there alone at night. The old bar still knows my order. The bartender knows my face. He never asked me why I'm sitting here. He just gives the memory space. The upright bass walks deep and slow, like roads only lonely people know. Brush drums whisper through the haze, taking me back to better days. The nights got longer when you left, and since you walked away. The nights got longer, but somehow I learned to stay. Footsteps coming down that hallway slow. I turn around without thinking, then remember you don't live here anymore. I stopped counting all the reasons, stopped asking what went wrong. Sometimes two people love each other and still can't make the love hold on. Maybe that's what losing someone means, learning how loud silence can become, learning that midnight has no mercy when the person you love is gone. But somewhere between the darkness and the first light of day, I started finding little pieces of myself along the way. The nights got longer when you left, but they don't scare me like before. I still remember your footsteps, but I don't wait beside the door. Oh, the rain still falls, the old blues plays, the whiskey still remembers those days since you walked away. The nights got longer, but I'm finally learning how to face the dawn. The rain has finally stopped. The first light is coming through the curtains. I pour the last drop into my glass and look at the empty chair for once. I don't wish you were sitting there. The nights may still be long, but they're mine now. And maybe that's how healing begins. Not when you forget someone since you walked away. The nights got longer when you left me. Morning takes forever to arrive. I used to hate the sound of midnight, now I hate the morning light. Your side of the bed is empty. Morning takes forever to arrive. I used to hate the sound of midnight. Drove past that old corner tonight. The neon sign was still burning. Rain was falling just like it did back then. Funny how one street can hold an entire lifetime. I once stood here and promised I'll come back tonight. I finally did, but you weren't there. There's still a bench beneath the streetlight where we said goodbye that night. You held my hand and made me promise I'd come back when things were right. I was young and full of reasons, thought the world would wait for me. Never knew that time keeps moving while you're busy trying to leave. The lonely saxophone cries so low, like an old train moving slow. Every note brings back the days when your eyes still knew my name. I passed the place where I promised to return, but you weren't waiting there. The street was quiet, the neon was fading, and rain was falling through the air. Oh, I kept my promise after all these years, but you were already gone. Funny how you can come back to a place and realize you don't belong. The old cafe is still standing, though the sign has changed its name. I remember drinking coffee with you while we talked about our plans. You said we'd grow old together, somewhere far away from here. I said I'd never let you wonder if I disappeared. The upright bass walks deep and slow, like roads only old hearts know. Brush drums whisper through the rain and bring me back to you again. I passed the place where I promised to return, with your memory by my side. The years have changed the city, but they couldn't change what I hide. Oh, that old guitar bends and cries beneath these lonely midnight skies. I came back like I said I would, just a little too late for you. Watch the rain come down. For a moment I could almost hear you laughing somewhere in this town. But memories don't open doors, and yesterday won't turn around. Some promises take a lifetime just to finally understand. was always coming back, just never when you needed me. Maybe some roads are meant to teach us what we couldn't see. And maybe the saddest part of keeping a promise is discovering you kept it. Too late, I passed the place where I promised to return, and finally let you go. No anger in my heart, no questions left to know. The city sleeps, the rain moves on, and that old guitar plays one last song. I came back just like I said I would. But sometimes keeping a promise doesn't mean you get what you once hoped you could.